weekend is here, and every time it's the weekend, I get to have a good time with you right here on the chat. My name is Eko Kumsin, confirmed on all social media platforms at PK_Kumsin, spelled with a double N. Today promises to be very educative because if you're a young act out there and you're looking to aim for the biggest when it comes to awards, this is the show for you. Also, if you are a model out there, in as much as they are done with their, their model auditions and everything, but if you're a young one out there, or if you're someone who loves fashion, I've got Mr. Classic right here in the studio for you to actually give you the 411s. Yeah, about everything you need to know about rhythms on the runway. I mean, I know runways for, catwalking and everything, but this one decides to bring music and modeling together to give us something beautiful. I mean, today promises to be very exciting, so make sure you stick and stay. But before we start anything, today I have a special performance for you. Yeah, right now on the Channel One countdown, here's the #1 song in Ghana, according to me, myself, and I. I'm talking about Famille with Very Soon. But let's enjoy this glitch performance he did out there. Enjoy it.
Furious and you best be I and search it. The I should be I and search it. Yet I see you quite the HDS. Until my friend furious and you best be I and search it. The I should be I and search it. Yet I see you quite the HDS. My G cool down, don't stop. Time they cool down, don't stop. Plenty enemies on top. Silence only, don't shout. I saw you about champagne, I bad on me. Machilema, I want you. I saw you about champagne, I bad on me. Machilema, I want you. I've don't worry, we are safe. Will it serve party? If I three months, I got it. Until my friend furious, send you ever see the eye and search it. Near you should be eye and search it. Yet I see one day, she gets up. Take on to the very sun. I saw me them. The fire's still burning. So very I see a body. I saw you about something I ever. I want you. I saw you about the pen I want when if you friend now but Nipa Kasache, Yamebekasa, Nipa Kasache, Yamebekasa. I don't know what we take your time, now we do. Jiri, and get it. No, we're so easy. I don't know what we take your time, now we do. Jiri, and get it. And you may all so easy. I know you are better, I don't know. Machilama, I want you. Haven't tell me wanna ride it. Haven't tell me wanna ride it. Haven't tell me wanna ride it. I want you. Haven't tell me sense of them was time.
Live from the heart of the equator, get ready to be mesmerized at a night of stunning fashion and electrifying music as 1957 event proudly presents Rhythms on the Runway, the Kente edition. From Accra, Ghana to the world, this is a spectacular fusion of fashion and music to ignite your spirit. Enjoy live performances featuring the legendary Asabia Kropper, Edem, Amanziba, Nasi, Episode, Kamido, Kwabna, along with comedy from DKB. Join us at the Grand Arena on Saturday, November 30th. Red carpet starts at 7 p.m. Showtime 8 p.m. Visit www.rhythmsontherunway.com to purchase your tickets or call the hotline on 053-553-4756. 200 cities for standard, 400 cities for premium. This event is brought to you in partnership with Beyond the Return and sponsored by Johnny Walker, Caveman Watches, Ghana Tourism Authority, Gold Crest Refinery. Step out in style with a hint of Kente and dress to kill. Rhythms on the Runway, the Kente edition is a 1957 event. Media partner, City FM and Channel One TV.
The NDC and the MPP are not the same. They are the same. Massa, they are not the same. They are the same.
Nilante, tell us why you think they are not the same. Because me, dear, I don't see any difference between the two parties.
Yaba, one, under John Mahama, every penny borrowed was used for productive investment like the Terminal 3, Accra Digital Center, KJTR Market, Circle Dubai Interchange, just to mention a few. But these Osunu people borrow money, throw kenke and wache parties, use the money to bath in the sky, and construct the most expensive swimming pool in the world in the name of a national cathedral. Tell me, is God a swimmer? Two, under John Dramani Mahama, those who lend money to the government in the form of bonds could sleep peacefully knowing that the government will pay them. Under the NPP, the government will take your money, chop it, and give you a haircut on top. Under John Dramani Mahama, no minister or MP could dare go close to our water bodies or forests to do galamsey. Today, look at our water bodies and forests. These MPP people have destroyed all our water bodies and forests through galamsey. I will not be surprised if we find a galamsey pit in the Jubilee House. How can you tell me that the NDC and the MPP are the same?
Boss, you talk something, pal.
They are not the same.
They are never the same.
We have to vote wisely.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Uncle! This Christmas is giving.
It's giving.
Are you ready, kids?
Sis, is the jollof ready?
These your people.
The area must be for kudos!
The jollof is ready. Sakura.
I'll be right there. Sorry, the pepper from the jollof. Thompson, it's been an emergency. We need to step out for a bit.
Oh. 5 more minutes.
Hey, Mrs. Afri, can we get some takeaway packs?
This Christmas, it's giving the best in entertainment on DSTV. Grab a DSTV decoder or reconnect to your existing subscription and be entertained.
Now this is giving. Thank you.
Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible. Just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with Messiah digital skills. Now one can create games in a website.
Esuro, boot number 1 on the ballot.
Here's Kwame and Yao. After hours of planning, both have locked in the same perfect multi-bet. Big win for United, over 1.5. And both teams to score in the London Derby. But who could have picked Leicester over City? Or a high-scoring game at the Bridge? There's nothing worse than having your perfect multi-bet missing. But there's nothing better than having it saved. Bet saver, win, even if your bet misses.
You're welcome back. That was such a massive performance there. I mean, I love this guy so much. Famia is like the hottest thing in town right now. But I have two interesting people who either agree or disagree with me, but I don't mind. They will join me to have a very interesting conversation. We are talking about the Grammys today, because it looks like our Nigerians keep getting one or having one over us every time the Grammys happen. This time around, the African performance, which is supposed to be African performance, it looks like it is Nigerian performance at the Grammys. What are they doing right? What are we doing wrong that is not making us end the nominations that we've always been looking forward to? And today, I have Cyril Alex Goka. I know most of you do not do that one, but yeah. If you know Cyril, the rapper, yeah, he's the one I have here with me. He is actually a Grammy Academy member. So today we'll ask him, why is he not influencing the process for us to actually back some nominations at the Grammys? He is also a marketing consultant, and he is actually a musician. Yes, he's a rapper. He'll give you some beautiful lines. You get to enjoy it. Do you want him to actually give us a short performance before we end? He will do that. And then also, I have Beatrix. Yeah, not Beatrice. It's Beatrix. Or being Saki, who is a creative consultant with Madwoman, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. I just don't understand why a fine lady like you decides to call your agency a mad.
Because we're very creative.
Yeah.
So
are creative people mad people?
No. So the idea of it comes from Mad Men, which was like an advertising series back in the day. And the women were at the forefront. So I needed to make sure women stand tall this time.
Wow, I've never been able to wrap my. Have you been able to wrap your head around it?
Oh yes, I've picked at her many times with it, so she's explained and justified. So, and there's a little sprinkle of madness in the creative process, so it's good.
Anyways,
tiny.
You can join the conversation on all social media platforms with the hashtag the chat, or you can actually drop me a WhatsApp message on our WhatsApp number 0247. 020-447-033. I'll be so glad to receive a message from you. Cyril, how are you doing? It's been a while.
I'm chill, Charlie. Grateful for life. Just doing my thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. But today, you are on the Grammy Academy, Recording Academy board or a member. Explain to anyone who is watching us for the first time, who might have heard the name Grammys for the first time, what is this big animal called Grammys? Because it looks like it's that biggest thing that everybody is looking forward to. So what is this whole thing about Grammys?
So I'd say the Grammys is a collective that celebrates the highest form of music artistry. Or literary artistry, because there's poetry, there's spoken word, there's instrumentalization, there's a whole host of sub categories within the Grammys. Now the Grammys is not built on popularity, on impact, on sales, on reach, on none of that. It's purely a peer review platform where other creators, other seasoned individuals within the various fields look at the work that's been submitted and give it the awards based on the merit of the authenticity of the artistry. So you don't have to be the biggest anything. You don't have to have sold that whatever amount of whatever copies. You don't have to have been on tour, left, right, center to do anything. It's about the authenticity, the quality and the impact of that work. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is actually interesting.
Yeah. Fun fact is there are thousands of Grammy winners that we don't know their names. Yeah. who is a master drummer somewhere, who played a drum sequence for 15 seconds. But that drum sequence maybe became a loop that was used in 50 other successful songs. And that person receives a Grammy for that. Or there's a pianist who, wrote a certain concerto, and that is what got him that. There's a spoken word person who did something, or maybe child marriage, and gets a Grammy. So it's not a popularity, it's not your BET or your MTVs or your whatever. It's not about, I'm a big artist, so I deserve to have a Grammy. It's about the authenticity and artistry. These two things.
Now, Beatrix, anytime the Grammy nominations come out, when you don't see a Ghanaian in there, as a Ghanaian, as somebody who is also in the creative space, who is actually advocating for creatives to have, a seat at the table when it comes to it. How does that make you feel as a creative? Does it make you feel like, we're not doing something right?
If I'm going to be honest, I sometimes say we're nearly there. We're not too far away, but at the same time are we ready for what it is that we're thinking we're supposed to be on the platform for, and that's the honest truth. We need to tell ourselves the truth. Like, are we ready for what it is that we're looking to achieve? Are we ready for the standards that everyone else is being celebrated for? So I guess I probably just say we're nearly there, rather than saying, there's no Ghanaian here or anything like that. I think of it more as we're nearly there, rather than, there's no Ghanaian there.
But if you say we are nearly there, the Grammy has been around for how long? Like
20 years.
Over 60 years, right? What does we are nearly there mean? Does it mean that after 40 years, then you feel like, okay,
now we're closer.
Now we are closer.
Yeah.
Because you see, last year, I feel like if there's been any time where we've made the most noise about the Grammys, it was last year. Yeah. When we had MOG drop his For Consideration, Stonebwoy dropped his Fifth Dimension album. Everybody was just like, yo, this is actually going to be the time. And also, what even made it worse was when Grammy added the whole African performance category to the whole Grammy, organization. It made it look, this is like the time for us. Yeah. So when you say we've been always nearly there,
Okay, so what's interesting is I think Rocky Dawuni, he's always been represented, which we don't talk a lot about. But even he's Ghanaian, but he's there, but we don't speak about it as much. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think of it as the Ghanaians are not there. There's someone actually representing us, but we're just not focusing on that person. And I think in saying we're nearly there, like I said, there's so many things that we have to work on to get to a certain point. So if the work hasn't been done, we can't assume that, is our rightful place to take, And currently, product is outweighing talent. So you can have the craziest talent in the world right now, but if your product is not selling, people are not going to buy it.
All right, so we keep hammering on this, and I love the fact that you mentioned it, and it's something that pretty much every panelist says. We are not doing the right things to be able to get us to get to the Grammys. We are not doing the right things to be able to get us to get to the Grammys. What are these right things that we are not doing, that it looks like our friends on the other side are doing? And if any of you, you can help us with it. Let's look at the things that we are not doing right to start with.
So to even start with, I love the fact that, Soro is actually there, because we need people representing us, because representation obviously starts with the influence. Yeah. Exactly. So with someone like him being there, of course he's going to pass on all the things that we need to know. Very simple things like even our identity. How many times do you hear us talk about high life? As often. It's always Afrobeats.
Yeah.
But we have our
which isn't ours.
Which isn't ours. It's borrowed from different stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't speak about high life, and high life should have been at the top by now, But these little things is like we're not even accepting our own identity to start with. Yeah. Now, if you're not accepting your identity, who's going to know you? Do you see what I mean? And with someone else, like with people representing us on these platforms, they are going to be the ones that's going to pretty much nurture everything that we need to know regarding the things that we're supposed to be doing to get to the standards that we're hoping to achieve. So identity, education, most importantly, like we need to understand what it is that we're getting ourselves into. The music business, marketing, we need to fully grasp what it is. It's not just standing there, just doing a couple of things and then that's it. I put myself out there. Like there's so much more that you need to be doing. So I feel like we were usually chilled and saying that, you know, we'll do it. But then everything takes time and you have to build up to that expectation as well. So there's so much I could speak on, but my things I'll focus on is education and identity. I feel like we need it.
Now, to somebody who is an academy member and you've really seen it inside out, what are the things that we are not doing right? If you can give us some
Beatrix touched on something that I also feel very passionately about, which is identity. If you look at the Ghanaian music landscape, every time we've created an authentic music identity, we have bickered and argued about the irrelevant things, to the point that we suffocate it. The last time we had a significant successful music genre was high life. After high life, we had hip life. Instead of institutionalizing hip life to become a genre that is exclusive to Ghana, we bickered and fought about who did what till it was unattractive. So the generation that came to awareness during hip life said, let's do rap. Let's leave these people fighting about this hip life and let's do rap. And when that started, instead of appreciating the fact that there was global talent in Ghana, we started asking rappers, why are you from America? And rappers gave up on that and started doing commercial music. And in that fight to do commercial music, we went to the coast and we found Shona music and birthed Azonto. And when Azonto came to life, instead of again institutionalizing it and making something that's exclusively Ghanaians, the same narrative of bickering,
who owns it
and all that, who produced the first beat, it's irrelevant. I love pop music. Beyonce is the biggest pop star in the world, but I don't know who owns pop. I don't know the genesis of pop music, and I don't care, frankly. And it's irrelevant. You get what I'm saying? And we killed all those. So we are always grasping at straws of what is globally relevant without investing in what is exclusively Ghanaian. That's the problem. We've been fighting that. So if you look at Amapiano and Afrobeat, it's the same thing we're doing. We're sitting in Ghana, creating nothing. We heard our brothers succeeding massively with something, and then all of a sudden Fela was in Ghana 100 years ago, and we taught him the drum and this and blah 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 and something. When we were doing Azonto, we didn't know Fela came to Ghana. When we were doing hip life, you get what I'm saying? Like, and I need to fire my people because I personally have gotten very tired
of the same narrative,
especially being somebody who has been in the studio, who has been on stage, and now in this position. I have seen the full ballpark, and I can point out where my brothers and my sisters are missing the ball. Right? We lack the authenticity. That is the first thing. And music genres are akin to culture or tradition. The genre represents something. And we don't have a highly successful Ghanaian music genre. Afrobeats is now a global music genre. That's why Chris Brown can do Afrobeats and nobody bats an eye. That's why Justin Bieber can be on an Afrobeat song and nobody has a problem. Because it is no longer an exclusive. Afrobeats is now similar to what dancehall is. We know where it came from, but it now belongs to the world. So white people can do reggae, Chinese people can do reggae, and it's not a problem.
But we know it's from Jamaica.
But we know it's from Jamaica because they've honed in and institutionalized that genre and owned it. So wherever the reggae success comes from, it will trickle all the way down to Jamaica. What trickles down to Ghana? Nothing. I made a point the other day that our biggest music stars, arguably, are dancehall and reggae guys. If you take out Shatta, if you take out Stone, who else have you got? Sarkodie is doing rap. Sarkodie is rapping. Rapping is not a Ghanaian genre. Kim Promise is the closest thing to an African, a Ghanaian Afrobeat star, but that's also Afrobeat. It's not a Ghanaian.
It's not Ghanaian, okay.
You understand?
So what happened to like the people of old? So say the Ebo Taylors, the ETs. Because these people we pushed
failed,
it.
Yes, they pushed it, and we failed to take the resources they developed and build on that. Kendrick Lamar just dropped an album a couple of minutes ago, an hour ago. Right? But if you know the history of hip hop or rap, they built on soul. They built on jazz.
Yeah.
Right? They built on blues.
Yes.
They took a little bit of aggression from dancehall. Somebody took the baton and turned it into something even bigger.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to a rap song and there's a saxophone or there's a jazz key or something, you can see the grandfather of the music in there.
Yeah.
What do we have? Our drums are not Ghanaian drums. Those lock drums that we play in our beats is not Ghanaian lock drums.
It's from South Africa.
It's from some place.
Yeah.
Our music identity is a thin veil. And we are pretending that we are relevant on the global scale when we have not built relevance at home. And that's only happening because we have failed to focus on the art. And we've been so consumed by commercialization. So this your song, you no go hit. But the same person telling you this your song no go hit is expecting a Grammy. When the Grammy is not about hits.
Hits, yeah.
So which one do we want?
Do we want hits or we want Grammys?
Because there are artists across the world who don't submit for the Grammys.
Yeah.
Because they know
that their songs are not going to make it.
I fill stadiums, I say 5 words, the DJ does something, people come and jam and distress, and we go home, I get my ticket money. I'm not a Grammy artist. There are people who have come to that realization. There's also somebody somewhere trying to make a new instrument with some bamboo, so that when that fume plays, you'll get his Grammy.
No, so what is this?
Sober?
Is that?
Are you sober?
Yeah.
Rocky Dauni. Rocky Dauni is big. Right? Rocky is my big brother. I was with Rocky a couple of weeks ago. Rocky is huge in Ghana. But let's be frank. Rocky is not the biggest Ghanaian artist in Ghana.
That's true.
You won't go to a party and they are jamming
Rocky song.
You won't go and there's a music conversation and they bring up Rocky. But the moment it's Grammy season, we have Rocky.
Yeah. But let me tell you this. Even I can bet my bottom dollar if you ask random 10 Ghanaians in the streets, the only song they know about Rocky from Rocky Dauni is in Ghana. That's the only song they know.
Because of the phrase in Ghana.
Yeah. That's the only song they know.
And that's the problem. So we want the glory of Rocky was at the Grammys, but we don't want to invest in people who have invested like Rocky. So you go to music conversations and they're like, hey, Ghana, if we go win them, unless people like Walasi, unless people like, that Walasi can win it for you.
Yeah.
But you are telling Walasi that his music is not commercial.
Yeah, it's not commercial. His music is not a hit. His music is not everywhere.
That's true.
Look, it's a simple issue of us not being honest and figuring out what we really want.
Yeah.
And it's part of the problem is also the society we find ourselves in. A lot of people want music as an outlet. And you cannot focus on artistry if that's the market you find yourself in. If people just want to enjoy music and jam and dance and do all that, that's a totally different market. If you are an artist and you are focused on the authenticity of your process and the output, then you are selling sand at the beach. You understand? Ghana is not the place for you. You understand? Because nobody's going to buy it. You're in the wrong place. That's why when our music travels outside of the shores of Ghana, people blow up just like that.
Yeah.
Right? You hear Kim Promise, you tell he was in Singapore, and people who didn't look like us or sound like us were singing passionately. Kiddy, I sat with Kiddy told us in India, Tokyo, Japan, blah, blah, blah. People were singing, Australia. People were singing like their lives depended on it. Because outside, the social constructs don't exist. So they are able to appreciate it for what it is without any judgment. But here, we are judging each other before the artist even opens his mouth. We are critical even before we appreciate the sound.
Yeah.
And 90% of the feedback is either going to be negative or controversial. So the artist has to claw his way through all these things to relevance. We've been in this country for, let's say in the last 20 years. I can argue that we've probably had the same 4 big artists.
Yeah.
Which is a catastrophe.
Is it 4 S's?
Yeah. And we've named them and we're happy.
The 4 S's. I think from the 4 S's we moved on to the 4 Ks.
Bro, there's so much music. I run a studio. And 90% of my friends run studios. There is no shortage of music talent in this country. But we have closed the gate. Right? And the few people who have entered before the gate closed, we are trying to milk them dry. But what they could have given us, they have given us.
They've given us everything.
The future of Ghana music is unheard. And until we turn up the volume on the people we've left outside of those gates, this conversation, you will call me back next year for the same convo, bro.
But you see, Cyril and Bitches, what is this obsession with Grammys?
Ego.
That
a lot of artists realize there's no money in Grammy and lose them.
That
they
too.
realize that it's not about your sales or whatever, and they lose him. I mean, the CEO was here.
Yeah.
I sat with him. There was a video even trending of him explaining what it was all about.
Yeah.
I asked the question. You understand? And he said it's in a room full of stakeholders and everything. He said it's not about your sales. It's not about your this, not about your that, blah, blah. And the whole mood, just everybody in the room just kind of went, oh. Then when he said that, right, and I'm saying this to the people who were in the room, when he said that, there was an Obia Obia feeling. Because before he said that, everybody was feeling like, let me get this answer. But when he said, you know what, your 10 million streams is equal to her 2 streams. Everybody's energy kind of went, oh.
Like, I have to even agree with him about something regarding what he said about the people that are actually making the music here is reggae and dancehall. Just a couple of days ago, I was watching something and then I heard the song. And I think I was in the bathroom and I was like, wow, this is a really great song. So I came out to see who it was. And I missed the artist's name, but I know he's with Lynx, right? And when I heard him, the first thing I said was,
DSL.
I don't, yeah.
DSL.
And I think when I heard it, I was like, this could be Busy Signal. This could be, I started mentioning all the names that could sound like. And then I said to myself, we have this here. Why are we not pushing how great this is? But then it's a case of, again, that's not the genre that might probably take us to where we want to go. And even to add to what he said, it's not a case of people feeling like they want to get to the Grammys. It's an ego thing. In their minds, it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve, or this is the highest standard of what it is that I'm doing. So if I have a Grammy, everyone respects me.
Yeah.
But I feel like even if you notice or you pay attention to other artists, a lot of people don't even care about the Grammys. There's a Nigerian artist, Bloody Civilian. Really great. She's got a Grammy for, I think, just producing. But the funniest thing is about even her music for me. So when I found out she's a producer as well, I was like, wow, I would have never have thought she's a producer. But that's not what she even puts in front. Because she knows that this is something I'm really great at, but I'm not trying to push it as much as my music. So the idea that you're supposed to, in getting a Grammy, makes everything better, it makes you the best artist, is not true.
And I mean, Guilty Beats, I think Guilty Beats was
Guilty Beats is on. I mean, with Thames, he even won it before with Beyonce, all of that.
Why is Guilty Beats, who is Ghanaian from Ghana, why are Ghanaians not going to Guilty and saying, Guilty, how did you do it? Produce my next album towards a world perspective, where my music will be appreciated for it. As when they call Guilty Beat, they want hit. My brother.
Anyways, but let's check out what the Grammy CEO actually said. I mean, CEO made reference to. Let's hear him.
In order to win a Grammy, first you have to understand the only way to win is to have the membership of the Academy vote for you. In order to be a member of the Academy, you have to be a professional working in music in the United States. For now, the United States. Hopefully we grow that. Right now, if you're a working professional in the United States, you can become a member of the Recording Academy. Once you're a member of the Recording Academy, all the music gets submitted, the members listen to it, and they evaluate it on the quality of the art. Not the sales, not the streams, not how many fans, not how many followers, but purely on the opinion. And it's very hard, as you all know, because it's subjective. There's no best song or best record. It's just the opinion of the membership in that particular year. That's how you win a Grammy. That's it. The voters vote. There's no committees. There's no journalists. There's no labels. It's music professionals voting for their peers. Period.
Yes, so that's it. I mean, the CEO actually, Cyril, the one who instigated it, is sitting right here with us in the studio. But I mean, I'm very intrigued hearing some of these things, I mean, coming from you, because I mean, for me, it was more like, it adds on to our music industry. But now to hear that it's mostly about like individual ambition, individual purpose, then it's just like,
it's an artistic validation.
Yeah.
It means you are a music artist. Yeah. It means you are not a music performer. It means you are not just a recording. You are an artist. You are a Picasso of sound. Wow. Whether it is your voice, whether it's your instrumental talent, whether it's your research to finding a new way to mix and master or reverb something, whatever it is that has to do with sound, you are an artist of that. That's all the Grammys is. Wow. And it doesn't pay you. They don't say here's the price, here's $10,000, but it opens up doors. It gives you that respect. If you are in the sales business, a record label is more eager to mess with you than to mess with somebody else because they know you are about your thing. I mean, Guilty Beats bagged 4 nominations.
Yeah.
He's one of the best producers in the world.
Sure.
Because for a producer to be nominated at the Grammys, it means other seasoned producers have listened to his work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So in the league of extraordinary producers, he's recognized. You understand? That is all it is. So if you are a singer and you're a Grammy nominated or Grammy award winning singer, you stand tall artistically amongst your peers. Somebody can outsell you because that could be marketing. Right? Gangnam Style. After Gangnam Style, have we heard another song from, what's the guy's name? Sai? I think his name was Sai or something.
Yeah.
Gangnam Style. After Gangnam Style, we didn't even understand what we were saying.
Yeah.
After Windeck, did we hear from the guy?
Oh yeah, Windeck. Windeck.
We didn't even know what he was saying, but it was marketed and fueled to be a success. That does not make him a music artist. It makes him a performer, makes him a music creator, it makes him 10 other amazing things, but not an artist. That's why there's artist and artist.
All right, but how relevant or how crucial is collaborations when it comes to the Grammys? Because, you know, recently we saw videos of one of our acts trying to, you know, build connections. They were like, we're starting to build, or the no but how crucial and how critical is collaborations for you to be able to hit the Grammy stage?
So I was having this conversation with a record label, ID Records, and we were all talking about how we can get to like the Grammys. It was just like a funny conversation we're having, and someone made an interesting statement about collaboration not being something that we're great at in Ghana, and that's another reason why we're not able to go as far. So then the person used, I think, Black Sheriff and Burna Boy's song, right? And the statement was, that's the reason why he got to where he is. And I said, that can't be, because if you're using collaboration only, you're going to be looking for like the highest artist or the best artist to have a song with, and then the next thing you know, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to be up there now. But even with him doing that, it didn't necessarily mean he was up there as like the best artist or anything like that. It took him a while because obviously he had other songs he wanted to push out and all of that. But my point I'm coming to is, the thing with collaboration with music is synergy. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And to someone else, it might be, I like this person, I would love to have this person on this song, but have you guys sat down to even vibe together? Have you sat down to just have a conversation with each other? Like, it takes so much more than just the word collaboration. And I think that's another thing that we need to really focus on. Like, if your synergy is not right, just let it go. You can try something else with other people. Just look for the people that you connect with. And those are I feel like those are the songs or the music that would get us further, because it's not everyone that you should collaborate with. And it doesn't necessarily mean because this person is like hitting and #1, I should be on a song or I should collaborate with him. So for me, I feel like collaboration starts with the synergy and then it takes you further to that point. Without that synergy, what's the point?
All right. Cyril, anything you want to talk about?
With collaboration, we are very opportunistic with our collaborations in Ghana. Right, I've resolved not to hold back political correctness and be politically correct any further with these issues, because it's part of fueling the problem. We are very, very opportunistic when it comes to collaboration. You have a hit now, so whether it works or not, I'm going to leech on you for your visibility.
Yeah.
Whether it brings you down, whether it doesn't work for me. So you realize the moment we have a rising star, it's featured the whole Ghana in 6 months. It's lost all its essence. Look at it.
Exactly.
Somebody start blown now. The next 12 months.
Today, it looks like he came into the ring like
he featured the whole Ghana already.
Yeah.
By the first year of his career, he has songs with every other major artist for just the visibility and the commercial viability of it. No essence, no strategy. But the way they blow there, if I try get Sako.
Yeah.
The way they blow there, if I try get Stono. That's the language. And this stems down to one, not having the right teams. 2, not looking at the music you are doing as a business and actually drawing a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, and strategizing towards it. Everything is freestyle. And the example you were giving was Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
And I'll say it because that's my brother. And there's nothing wrong with what Stonebwoy did. When Davido was cozying up to Chris Brown, we hailed him.
Yeah.
You see the video in Chris Brown, Charlie, massive.
Yeah, nice.
When Burna Boy and Diddy linked up, Ghanaians were trending it.
Even this Arasta and Rihanna. We were so excited.
In Ghana,
yeah,
we were making noise about it. Then Stonebwoy hollers at was it Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift, yeah.
Hollers at Taylor Swift, arguably the biggest, one of the biggest pop stars.
Yeah.
And then we hate. These are some of the things we need to put aside. And when we are asking ourselves what is wrong, we have the answers.
We have the answers right before us.
Is what is wrong. Because if Burna Boy, Davido, I Star is none of your business, Wizkid is none of your business, and you hail every single strategic move they try to make, whether it's embarrassing, whether it's cringeworthy, whether it's whatever, you hail it and find a narrative that sells them. And somebody who is from your country, who has risen from the ashes of a shaman and has become a global sensation, is in a position where he's 2 feet from Taylor Swift and he says hi, and you sitting behind your 5 megabyte data think that it is a problem and he is the embarrassment, then the narrative is wrong.
Yeah,
we have a problem. We have a problem.
Yeah,
because any other nationality would have been proud to see that fighting spirit in Stonebwoy. That same fighting spirit that led him out of where he was to become who he is. That he's still at the height he is, but he hasn't given up. He wasn't standing back thinking, I'm Ghana's Stonebwoy, so let Taylor pass.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I'm not going to get this opportunity every day, so let me let her know who I be.
You see, and that is what I always find a problem with. See, you see, when I am talking about this, a lot of examples are popping in my head. Sarkodie and Esud, he has got to pay Esud money.
I'm saying, Esud the artist.
Shatawale and Beyonce, it never happened. Beyonce never came to Ghana.
You don't see him before.
You don't see him before.
We sell those narratives.
But we are the same people who are calling.
If Davido did a song with Beyonce, or Burna Boy or Wizkid did a song with Beyonce, Ghanaians, we would claw the raw air.
And it was a really big deal. Shatawale and Beyonce was a huge deal.
Massive.
And it was massive.
Massive.
It was so huge. Nope.
First thing we did was criticize it, bro. People wanted to poke holes in it. I hear say just record send them. You know, meet them before send. The video said there be CGI. I know they there.
No, but it is a global practice. Cyril, you're in the studio. It's a global practice.
Bro, there have been hit songs where the artists have never met
before.
They meet on stage on tour. And that's cool. And when we tell those stories, we say it in a positive light. Hey, you know, say they never meet before. Charlie, now they meet. Oh, wow. But your own land there, you are using it as a negative. Whether Shatawale met Beyonce or didn't meet Beyonce,
they have already.
The Lion King is arguably the biggest grossing animated story.
Yeah.
Apart from, I think maybe Toy Story or something has overtaken it recently or something. But Mufasa, Simba, Nala, those are icons. Yeah. And you've got Shatawale being a part of Hollywood's story with Beyonce. And your reflex is to speak negative. And you're wondering why we don't go anywhere.
We are the problem. We are the problem.
If we don't speak up and tell it like it is, and we come on TV and radio and we don't want to step on toes,
and we pump it,
then we are enabling the problem.
And I think it's time that we stop pampering it. Like, we need to say it as it is.
Absolutely. Listen, let me give you another example. Stonebwoy.
I'll find out before we go.
Yeah. Good. Stonebwoy met Spice.
Yeah.
In transit and said, "Hey, hi, blah 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 blah." He met her again. Oh, hey, me. Oh, yeah, I remember you. Blah blah blah. Last week he was in my studio with Spice. And they have a song together, and they are working together. Imagine if we saw that the first time. Thank you. Imagine if he met her the first time and he didn't say hi.
I was so proud when I saw that. I was happy because I was like, you know what? There's someone that's making efforts.
Let's get off our high horse.
Collaboration.
Our egos don't match our success rate, my brother.
It's
the ego day here, our success rate day here. We for change them.
And we sign off on that note. Our egos don't match our success rate. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very inspiring, educative, and also very eye-opening for me, actually, as someone who is also in the industry, in the space. I mean, contributing to conversations in the space, and there's so much we need to learn. And let us stop bringing each other down. The pull him down spirits, let's stop it. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, I have the Mr. Classic, the man himself, right here in the seats to have a conversation with him about rhythms on the runway.
John, mema wakwaba.
Yeah, so.
Alaji, mema wakwaba.
Yeah.
John, I had a bro, one on them.
I really am a 19 and Menamo, and then black a clan Bijano. To no one of my Saba.
Alaji, I had a bro.
Yo, Medasi. Mwamunim, Tamana, Amawa, which you Mumiana, and Bobo and a Kakara. As I say, dear, my crowd said, the person may be warino. Namiko Siesio. Name man sign Jan and Asubu, no air crab.
Yo, I was not for yes, Empire. Yo, I'm a Ghana. What's wrong?
Mean to me, ain't son, cheap. Your bread, the baby, I would have fair way. I'm an who, baby. Mean to me, you forward ever, backwards never.
John, wo okoya wo de me bai fa so. Ahokyere, ekom, dum so. Hwa me nana ni. Ya free SHS ya ba ya. Ko mo anya school anko. E da hwe ya o ma yese.
Ase wo ma sesa mbe hwe obo. Sa ho mache 2 o'clock kokra. Meko band, dem akwa ko yiska. E de abra magana. Na ma boni getire ama na starting kokon kete.
Hey!
Akonta, you are still incompetent.
2 persons are dim mami abrabo. E to chacha to say aviator. There be Emma so.
Aladdin has also promised us jobs through digitalization. Ejimambe busu say.
Aladdin dear, metene so a ne masore. Emiri bia meka ne abesa no. Otimi to kane ya light e woni phone so. E ma me ba bia wonam bia. Yo amagana. Enya me me ware amawo. Aladdin ni Jones ni wa choose.
No ababa say. Eye Aladdin number 1.
Aladdin number one.
Esuro.
This festive season, it's time to go big and go loud because with GoTV, Bronya City. From match days and movie days to local stories, big little adventures.
Really?
It's unmatched entertainment for the whole family.
Yes.
GoTV brings the joy anytime, anywhere. Get your festive season sorted. Get GoTV. Fellow countrymen and women, the desperate NPP, realizing that they are losing the 2024 elections, has once again resorted to lies to smear the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The NPP's claim that Mahama was against free SHS and will cancel it when elected is nothing but a barefaced lie calculated to deceive you. John Mahama started the implementation of the progressively free SHS program in 2015 with day students and had a clear plan to expand the program to cover borders, hence cannot be said to be against free SHS. What he has been against is the poor implementation of the program. Contrary to the lies of the NPP, the next NDC Mahama government will improve the implementation of the free SHS program to make it better. We will do this by scrapping the double track system, provide a dedicated source of funding for the program, include private SHS, improve the feeding of our children, and enhance the quality of learning outcomes. Listen to the truth from the horse's own mouth.
Free senior high school education has come to stay. If anybody tells you that I, John Dramani Mahama, son of E.A. Mahama, will abolish free SHS when I come, tell the person he's a bloody liar. What I'm against is the poor implementation of the free SHS, which is creating great inconvenience for the parents, for the students, and for the teachers. And one of the things we'll do when we come back into office, and I know inshallah we're coming back into office, is to complete the 200 community day schools that we began, so that we can bring a quick end to the double track system.
Beware of the NPP's lies. Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Here's Kwame and Yao. After hours of planning, both have locked in the same perfect multi-bet. Big win for United, over 1.5. And both teams to score in the London Derby. But who could have picked Leicester over City? Or a high-scoring game at the Bridge? There's nothing worse than having your perfect multi-bet missing. But there's nothing better than having it saved. Bet saver, win, even if your bet misses.
Live from the heart of the equator, get ready to be mesmerized at a night of stunning fashion and electrifying music as 1957 event proudly presents Rhythms on the Runway, the Kente edition. From Accra, Ghana to the world, this is a spectacular fusion of fashion and music to ignite your spirit. Enjoy live performances featuring the legendary Asabia Kropper, Edem, Amanziba, Nasi, Episode, Kamido, Kwabna, along with comedy from DKB. Join us at the Grand Arena on Saturday, November 30th. Red carpet starts at 7 p.m. Showtime 8 p.m. Visit www.rhythmsontherunway.com to purchase your tickets or call the hotline on 053-553-4756. 200 cities for standard, 400 cities for premium. This event is brought to you in partnership with Beyond the Return and sponsored by Johnny Walker, Caveman Watches, Ghana Tourism Authority, Gold Crest Refinery. Step out in style with a hint of Kente and dress to kill. Rhythms on the Runway, the Kente edition is a 1957 event. Media partner, City FM and Channel One TV.
In the heart of our communities, change is not just a dream, it's a promise.
I don't have to worry about rising costs and taxes. Dr. Baumia's flat rate tax system is a breath of fresh air. It means I can keep more of what I earn and invest back into my business.
I've seen so many changes in my lifetime, but what matters most is to feel secured. Dr. Baumia's initiative for the elderly is to make sure we are not forgotten. He's giving us the exact care that we deserve.
With digital skills training, I am no longer worried about the future. Dr. Baumia empowers us to thrive in a digital world, making us ready for tomorrow's jobs.
Job opportunities are crucial for my generation. Dr. Baumia is committed to creating job opportunities and entrepreneurship. With his vision, we can build our dreams.
Together, we can transform our nation. Dr. Baumia's plan arranges policies. They are pathway for prosperity for every Ghanaian.
It's time for leadership that listens and acts. A vision for all of us, where every voice matters and every dream is possible. Vote Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
Esoroho. Vote number 1 on the ballot.
Yeah, beautiful song from King Promise. Earlier, we also enjoyed something from Davido. I mean, okay. Oh man, I love that song so much. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're talking about somebody who is representing music and fashion on the runway, I just can't stop talking about this. It is the man who calls himself Mr. Classic. No. We call him Mr. Classic. Yeah, because he's actually a very classic man. I love him so much. I actually came on set with some duku.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I give it to KO this way? He'll do something for me with some Oda Sobo.
Where's the duku?
Oh, the duku. So should I get my floor manager to bring it?
Get it. We'll
all right. So floor manager, please make sure you get me the duku from the makeup room. KO is actually going to do something beautiful for me today on that. But ladies and gentlemen, I have right here in the studio, Mr. Classic, KOD.
It's great to be back home in this glittering studios of
here is like a home.
This is home, yeah. This is home.
I'm sure we'll be having a show that's supposed to send you a text.
I know, right?
Tell about. Yeah, but how have you been?
I've been okay, since we got out of burying our heads in books,
Yeah.
We're out and
by the way,
living.
Congratulations to you, man.
Congratulations to you, man.
No, what have I done? Congratulations to me. Or congratulations to you too.
I know, right?
But yeah, I mean, congratulations to you. Back your masters from the Ghana UMA, University of Communications. Yes. You did very well. I'm super proud of you. But then again, I was just asking myself something. You are someone who has, pretty much seen it all.
Right.
So why education? Why school again?
Why not? Education is everything. You know, without education, you just be a fool amongst people. And at every point in life, you should think of evolving. You should think of rediscovering yourself. You should think of doing something new for a change. And for me, I think the actual motivation was my daughters. You know, they're in school. I already had my first degree, and I thought, well, let me do something competitive with my children. You know, like motivates them to bring home great results, which they did. So like that, so you did this, and I'm paying your school fees, but if I'm able to do this,
then
you don't have an excuse, because all you have to do is just sleep, eat, wake up, and study. So my children were also a major motivator for me to get back to school, and we had a great time.
Salute to you. But before we get into conversation about rhythms on the runway, my Duku is here.
Yeah, bring it my way. Okay, let me
Bless.
see. Okay, so we can have the conversation as I put this together.
So now, one thing I just want to understand from you is, I mean, you've had a lot to do in the creative space.
Yes, I have.
Music-wise, you've been there. Radio, TV, you've been literally everywhere. Now you settled on, or let's say fashion is now, let's say, your everyday. Have you always been this stylish from childhood? Because like a musician would say, I started singing when I was young. An actor would say, I started acting.
And a business person would say what?
And a business person,
I started
with like one thread.
No, I had people that I looked up to. My mother was a major factor in the area of fashion. She wasn't too encouraging of me becoming a creative, because I'm sure she wanted me to end up maybe as a doctor or an accountant or something like that in that space. But I don't have that bone in my system. I'm a full 360 creative. And right from day one, I knew this is where I'd end up. I mean, the first time I got into a studio like this, I think I was probably about 7 years at good old GBC. There was a lady called Emilia Cromwell Adama in the 1980s who had a TV show before Children's Own. And she was a great friend of my dad, so she invited me over once. I went by, looked at what they were doing, and I'm like, okay, I think I'd want to do this when I grow up. As a child, I'd put my mother's buckets together and drum and make noise, and my mom would be like, Tremaja, I did it, stuff like that. Drawing, painting, working with clay. So, I'm a proper 360 creative. And
but I hope 1957 didn't start with like one thread.
No, it did not. It did not. It actually started. In actual fact, the motivation for 1957, I must say, was Kweku Tea.
Oh,
yeah,
our very own Kweku Tea.
Our very own Kweku Tea, because right from 1999, when I started appearing on TV and hosting live, events, Miss Malaika, Ghana Music Awards, Miss Ghana, and what have you, or TV shows like you're on, very often you'd have someone who provides wardrobe. But whenever it's my turn, they're like, but you, Charlie, just come.
Oh, put something together.
Yeah, put something together. So that motivated me, and also going by the blueprints of people like, Sean Combs with, what's it called? He had this clothing brand.
Sean Combs.
Yeah, as in PDD.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Rockaway was Jay-Z, and then he had his Sean something.
Yeah,
I've forgotten. So I thought those were the blueprints. They use their personalities and everything they represent in a creative space to push brands. And I thought, well, why not replicate that in the Ghanaian sense? And also, what name would make it big from this side? Somebody go ball because you gonna make our wear shirt that way they call them KOD, because initially it was called 1957 by KOD, and then I dropped the by KOD just left it, because 1957 on its own is a great conversation starter.
Big one.
One would ask if they are not from Ghana, what is 1957?
What is it?
Exactly. So I decided to drop the by KOD and leave it as 1957. This is how far we've come.
Good. Now, Rhythms on the Runway.
Yes.
12th edition.
Yeah, it is, but the 14th year.
14th year, but 12th edition.
12th edition, yes.
I want us to do a small throwback.
Okay, let's flash back.
The very first one.
Yeah, the very first one.
And the 11th one.
Ooh. Wow, that's quite a
Tell
journey.
us.
That's quite a journey.
Tell us the transition so
the transition. So the first one was at the old Twist nightclub in Labone, owned by one of my in-laws, and my daughter had been born. Ophelia, my wife, started making clothes for her, and people like Dorian would go like, "Oh, Ophelia, on him started making clothes for our friends' daughters. So the initial, very first event had Kwabena and Ifia as the performers, our friends and family as the performers, our friends' children like Jocelyn Dumas' daughter. Stuff like that. It was a children's show. From there, we moved on to Citizen Coffee for the second edition. Third edition, other people were showing interest, friends of ours in the music and fashion industry, both home and abroad. Decided to be, let's do this together. So we moved on 2 editions at Citizen Coffee. Then we went to Golden Tulip for 2 editions. The last one was rained up. I'm getting flashbacks. Manifest was actually on stage, and the backdrop, it was raining, like there was a storm. Everything was coming down, and he was on stage, like telling everyone to just stay, just chill. Just about 2 weeks ago, like Manifest, how you do one? Because it was a very it was a turbulent time, but you just maintain your goal. Actually, God was in control, Wow. So after that, we took a break for 2 years, got back and went to the State Banquet Hall for 2 years. Then we had the year of return, 2019. Then we added an element to Rhythms on the Runway, people who have excelled in diverse ways in the creative space, not just in Ghana, but because at that juncture, we had also gone beyond being a family and national to a Pan-African event.
Pan-African event,
Pan-African event. So people who are doing well in the creative space, both home and abroad. So we added the Black Star experience.
Edition,
it's 1957. Why not Black Star? Because the story of the Black Star line is right from 1923 when the great Marcus Garvey decided to get the diasporans back home. So we started the Black Star Honors Night as part of Rhythms on the Runway right from 2019. I think the first 2 honorees were Asabia Cropper and her brother Nene Ajiman and Obrafo. They were the first.
So that was when the whole honorees
edition
or part of it
was added to and the plan is to have that as an entirely different event. But we gradually weaved it into Rhythms on the Runway to see how it goes. And for this year, we're honoring the great Ejako Onimo, Chief Dele Momudu from Nigeria.
Ovation.
Awesome journalist who's been part of Rhythms on the Runway right from the onset. It doesn't matter where he finds himself in the world, he makes sure he's back home.
Even
for Rhythms
played a key role in the Ghanaian creative space.
He has, especially with us. Ejako Onimo, Chief Momudu, I mentioned Kwabena being there from day one. And then the last person is an awesome export from Ghana, Bibi Brew, if you know Bibi Brew.
Bibi Brew,
Bibi Brew. She's done incredibly well for this country in terms of selling our music to the rest of the world, especially the European space. So we thought to honor them this year at Rhythms on the Runway.
Wow, that's good.
And in terms of performance, Kwabena is on stage, Bibi is on stage. A previous honoree, the Queen of Kente, Asabia Cropper, is on stage with her brother Nene. Amanziba's performing. Kamido is on as well. Nasi is on. Michael Stuckey is coming into town from the United States.
So there we have it.
Yes, there we have it. Exactly.
Rhythms on the Runway.
Yeah. And I hope I didn't forget anyone. Episode is on. Episode is doing something very different for a change. He's always been part of Rhythms on the Runway, even in terms of planning. Now we get to see Episodes, the launch of its clothing brand at Rhythms on the Runway. So as he's on stage performing, we get to see the models on the runway in his debut.
I think the Amachidede one will be on.
Yeah, we've seen the Amachidede. We've seen the Kwame Nkrumah one. I don't have an idea of what he's
doing this year.
For this show. So
all right.
It will be his proper outdooring event at Rhythms on the Runway. Because we've always seen him wear them. We've seen him in those outfits, but not other people wearing them.
But why give him this opportunity? Because it's your stage. It's one of the biggest stages, I would say, in the fashion space in Ghana.
1957 is not even part of the show this year. And that's the whole idea. The show is bigger than any brand. The show is not about 1957. The show
1957 is not
part of it, yes. The show is about any African doing awesomely well anywhere in the world. It's a Pan-African event. We have a fashion designer coming in from the United States. There's one from Morocco, one from Togo, models from Senegal, Ivory Coast, and that's the whole idea. It's become a very Pan-African event. And let me say this here. We're actually in talks with the government of Angola. Next year is their 50th anniversary.
Don't tell me you're taking rhythms on the runway there.
Rhythms on the runway there.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're having that conversation. This is the first time I'm saying it.
Wow.
On TV, yeah. So
I mean, then it is a proper Pan-African event.
It's a proper Pan-African event. That's how much it's grown over the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Now, I see also on Rhythms on the Runway, you've added another element which I find very beautiful. Plus size lace.
Plus sizes, yes. We did that we've done that for about 3 years, but I wouldn't take the credit, or we wouldn't take the credit for that.
Sure.
We actually work with what the designers want.
Okay.
So for our theme for this year, for instance, is Kente. We're not telling the designers to showcase Kente. It's the attendees that are coming wearing their Kente. You know, let's see what how best you can rock your Kente. But for the designers, we're leaving them, to pour out their own creative juices, leave them to be who they are. We don't want to interrupt their creative thought process and, in any way. So for the plus sizes, we thought, well, we're evolving. These are real Ghanaians, real African women, real African men. Let's get them on the runway. Let them come out with their pop bellies. Let them come out with their size 22s.
Because that's such a confidence booster or builder. Because most times people tend to shun this plus size, you're not supposed to be. But then we're able to bring them in, bring them closer, and then we make them feel like they are part of us.
Exactly, because they're truly part of us. I mean, we all have aunties that look like that, or mothers that look like that, or wives and husbands that look like that. But then once we're out on maybe social media or on TV, everyone wants to look slim. We're not Westerners, we're Africans. We look a certain way.
Yeah.
We look a certain way.
And it's part of us.
It's part of us.
All right. Now, the 12th edition is going to be about Kente.
Kente.
Good. I've seen the Aqua edition, I've seen the Green edition, I've seen the, like you said, the Black Star, the Excellence edition. This time around, we are talking about Kente.
Yes.
Why the idea of Kente? Now, before that, what actually inspires your focus for?
When the year starts, I start thinking about Rhythms on the Runway right from January. That's my birthday month. So I think about a lot of things. I think about, live in retrospect. And going forward obviously includes Rhythms on the Runway.
Yeah.
And once I come up with an idea, I share with the rest of the team, like, what are the pluses and minuses?
Yeah.
What can we add? What can we take out? Yeah. And then, once we agree, I believe in teamwork, so I don't even take credit for any. In actual fact, I'm like the least of the people in my team. I feel like everyone, I project them, and I'm the one that takes a back seat. I don't even like granting interviews about Rhythms on the Runway. I like to go out and look for the money to pay for the bills. That's my specialty.
That's good.
So this year we thought of Kente being everything that we are. You find Kente in Ivory Coast, so La Côte d'Ivoire, in Togo, in Benin as well.
Yeah.
But Ghana is the only country that's really truly known for Kente.
Yes.
From Kente from Volta, Kente from Ashanti, so Bonue and Volta. And then I don't think what's from the north is called Kente.
Okay.
But it's become part of what we wear.
Of what we wear, sure.
For special occasions. Like, it's very regal as well. It's not called Kente, especially, I was looking for someone who manufactures them. Recently, I posted on Facebook and someone came and went like, it's not called Kente. I forgot the name they gave of it. But graduating students anywhere in the world, you see elements of Kente on their
even
gowns.
Is it the sash?
Yes.
Yeah, that we wear.
And
it's always
these
there.
are people who are not even from Ghana and they're repping our Kente. So how much more, those of us. And also we thought of the theme because of what Kente represents. Different colors, different patterns, different yarns woven together into one beautiful cloth. Who are we? People from different walks of life, political persuasions, the North, Ashantis, Southerners, Dagomba, Evers, Adangbe's, Fantis, put together to become one great nation. So as we get ready to go to the polls, and I was thinking about that as far back as January, as we get ready to go to the polls, let's use fashion and music as a platform to unite all of us. Because I'm sure you have a friend who is on, the different sides of the political divide. But at the end of the day, we're all
one people.
Yeah. And we're all moving towards a great destination for this country, this beautiful country of ours. So, just walk your kente, come out, no matter the color. Let's have a great time, celebrate Ghana as we go.
Where is this happening?
We're going to the Grand Arena next Saturday, 30th of November. It's a week before elections. So, there's tension in time. Just come out, just chill, forget about all the political stress as we get ready to go to the polls. Come out in your numbers. Let's have a great time. To make sure you can afford this, in the last 3 years, we've maintained the same amount at the gate. 200, most people should be able to afford that. 400 Ghana cedis. The tables are sold out. So, always the first to sell out.
Wow.
The tables are sold out. So
the tables are sold out.
200 for regular, 400 VIP. Just pull up and come have a great time. The red carpet starts from 6 p.m.
Good. You've mentioned red carpet.
Yes, sir.
And that's why it's good to take our conversation because
actually it's a green carpet this year.
It's a green carpet this year, and I think you've always tried to be very creative with that whole space.
But then, sometimes it's also expensive, especially if you go to the Grand Arena, they have an existing green carpet. Why should I bring? So I'm cutting costs.
We are doing cost effective. We have to be cost
exactly.
effective.
So I'm bringing some extra greens to add on to what they have.
Exactly. Make it very beautiful. But what do you actually make of the red carpet culture in Ghana?
Sometimes we don't get it right compared to other events, other places. Charlie, I've had some, looking back and observing what goes on the red carpet. But I can look back and say an event like EMI Awards, we've seen some really great red carpet moments. Rhythms on the Runway, obviously, because it's a fashion event. People come out looking their very best. But it's an area that we could work on some more, and also use our platform to empower the Ghanaian tailors, the Ghanaian dressmakers, the Ghanaian clothes makers. Instead of coming wearing something.
Somebody is watching us now. Maybe they are planning to go for the next big event, which will have a red carpet, and part of it and everything. Keodi, you have been in the fashion space. You've seen it across the world. You've seen best practices everywhere. What would you say are the do's and don'ts?
Well, it depends
on a red carpet.
Yeah, it depends on the nature of the event.
Okay.
If you're going to an entirely black tie event, you need to be in a tux. Not even a regular suit. You need to be in a tuxedo. For men. And for women,
there's a difference between a regular suit and a tuxedo.
And for
the tuxedo is the one with the tail.
Not necessarily. It could be a jacket like this, but then it's sewn with the lapel is different. It comes with elements of some use silk, some use satin to embellish it, and then there's a bit of satin on the side of the trousers. That's where you wear your patent shoes, and these days people wear shoes without socks. It's okay. It's a proper black tie, black tie event. That's a typical red carpet moment. But especially for women, because we've evolved and also we've had the influence of foreign influence on our fashion. People can wear like a kente ball gown on the red carpet, and it's awesome. It's always beautiful.
Okay.
It's the kind of thing I'd want to see at Rhythms on the Runway. So if you want an amazing kente outfit to maybe a wedding a long time ago or an engagement, and you've been wondering when next, because kente is something you don't wear always. It's for regal and special moments. So you can rock them on the green carpet.
So if I'm coming for the event next week Saturday,
there should be a hint of kente.
There should be a hint of
kente, not all draped in kente.
But then it should be
it could be just a pocket square
with some
maybe
nice kente.
A scarf or a gele made out of kente. But let's see a bit of kente in what you wear.
Now, when the night is going on,
right,
run me through your emotions. How's the emotions for you like?
I'm always running around. Like I have never sat to. I think the only time I got to experience rhythms on the runway to a certain extent was what do we call it? The 100% GH edition. That's right when we got out of COVID because we could not get any foreigners to participate. So we called it the 100% GH edition.
Okay.
At the underbridge. I was standing in a corner. Actually, I was standing there with Samens, you know.
Okay.
I just looking at proceedings, and it's the only time I wasn't running around.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe then again because we didn't have that many people. We had come out of COVID, and people were cautious to come out. But typically, I want to, and it's one of the reasons I make sure the show doesn't run live on TV.
Okay.
I want it impeccably done. I don't want any like time wasting, drags, there's a break where no one is on stage, nothing is happening, and people are still just sitting there. No, I want it seamless. I want it seamless. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, another aspect of Rhythms on the Runway that interests me a lot, and that's where I'm coming to that audition, is when you get to bring people in the media space.
Media and creative space.
Media and creative space, because last year we saw our very own, was it last year? Last year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year we saw our very own Umaru Sanda.
Umaru was on stage.
Yeah.
He killed it.
And Frema Dunyami was also on stage.
Yes,
all of that. What are you trying to communicate with that?
So these are
idea?
people, I mean, when you see Mr. Sanda, he's always talking serious matters on TV. Frema is, well, she has a light side, like a side that puts smiles on people's faces. But these are people that you only see on TV from a distance.
Yeah.
So the idea is to bring them up close and personal. You see them like they are walking on the runway. You know, not really you'd see them on TV, but here they are. And when we're done, during the green carpet movement, you're taking your pictures with them, you're hanging out with them, you know, stuff like that. So it's actually to add on to the wow element of Rhythms on the Runway. And over the years, we've always had some great time on the runway with these personalities.
I am super excited for you. Now, for someone like me, how can I get to be on the Rhythms on the Runway? Because I want to model.
You pass for Rhythms on the Runway. You have every you know, personality-wise, everything.
I am tall.
You're tall, yes.
I look good.
You look good.
But I'm boy.
There be ancestral ball. And there.
So to be a model, you don't need to have six packs.
You don't necessarily have to have 6 packs, especially for what we do. You know, we're gone past those days of looking for size zeros. We don't do that. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for me next week Saturday. Rhythms on the Runway, man. I'm a rocket.
I know, right?
I'm gonna show you. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my scarf is with you.
Okay, so
what has Scaled been able to do for me?
Something simple.
Yeah.
And it works with what you're wearing. So.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Unfortunately, take it off. Yeah.
Perfect.
Like a tie. Okay. And then you get it inside. There we go.
Oh man.
More like a cravat.
Oh man.
Yeah. There we go. We're good.
Wow. How do I look?
Yeah. You know, so
man,
we just added something to it.
Wow. So do you ever stress to put some of these pieces together?
No. I mean, I've done it for so many years. It's become part of me.
Wow.
Somehow.
Okay. Just before we go, tell me the longest it's ever take you to actually put your everything together before you step out.
It doesn't, because I do that before I go to bed. I'm a planner.
Oh, so you plan what you wear the next day?
The day before.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't have to waste time.
Wow.
Yeah. My things are put together properly, so I know where everything is. Yeah. I know where my socks are. I know where my underwear are. I know where my shirts are. I know where, and especially now that I'm growing or grown, I feel more comfortable in something like what I'm wearing now.
Oh, okay.
You know, so to wear a suit and tie is too much work. It's too much work.
All right. But is it right thing for people to do when they wear black trousers and they wear colorful socks? Because some people will tell you when you wear black trousers, wear black socks.
Oh, well, I mean, black socks and black shoe is a typical, you know, conventional way of doing it. But if you want to add a little bit of, color to your look, there's nothing wrong with it. I do that a lot.
Yeah,
I do that
because I picked that from you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do that
you
a
like
lot.
to keep it happy.
Just be in maybe one tone, all black,
Yeah.
and then a little bit of noise with your shoes or
Wow.
your socks. Yeah, that's
Wow.
it. That's it.
Thank you very much, Q.